That's fine. They can do whatever they want, but they're chasing. Got to ask yourself, are you going to lead or are you going to chase? If someone says nobody else is doing that and you're doing that thing, that's a good thing. Does anyone have a 7200 G Master? Perfect.
Flip it.
If he wants me to, sure. I flipped the Zeiss Otis. That's only $4,000. Thanks. Hello. Okay, what I want you guys to pay attention to is when I shoot her, I want you to pay attention to how you would naturally ambient light this. Okay, so for example, when I'm shooting her like this, you see that there's no punch in the eyes, there's no light in the eyes. You also notice that the light is very flat with the background. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so put the light up now for me. There you go, 1, 2, 3. Look at what a difference. Look at the difference in the tone on her face.
What's the temperature on the light right now?
It's at 3800. One thing I also want you guys to pay attention to is the fact that, did you see how plug and play that was? There's no fancy setup time. People ask me all the time, do you put the camera into HSS mode or the light into HSS mode? No, it just works. Guys, you remember the days of Pocket Wizards when we had to like stand on one leg and then, you know, say a prayer to Pocket Wizard God and do all this stuff just to get a Pocket Wizard to work? I'll never forget, that's when I decided to use Pocket Wizards as, you know, clay pigeon practice. Okay, because I went to Pocket Wizard at WPPI and I said, I can't get it to work. Well, you got to turn this one on first, then that one, then this one, then wait for the green light. Then when this one double taps red, I'm like, I hate you. And I decided I'm not doing that. So when you get a light like this that just fires, there's a lot of ambient light in here, right? There's a lot of ambient light in here, but yet we're still getting that punch out of the Neo. I mean, and do you see the eyes? The difference in the eyes. Look at that catch light. When I first did the video on the Neo 2, people said, oh, well, it's going to put hardly any catch light. I'm like, are you on drugs? I mean, see, I always find it so funny when people talk about products they haven't used. Because I would never do that because I'd be afraid of looking silly. Yeah, stand right here next to me. Okay, so now we're good. She's good, I don't know, 20 feet? And look at that.
What's the recycle time on that?
There's no recycle time. I'm not making it up.
How long would that last? With the LED?
With the LED on, 3 hours.
And with the height and with the scene?
The flash does nothing to it. The flash is chump change.
Oh.
The battery draw is on the LED.
Okay.
That's another thing people said is when this light came out, well, if the battery draw is so little, it must be a weak light. No, I don't know how the engineers did it. I don't care how they did it.
It's capacitors.
I'll take your word for it.
It is. They're boosting up the capacitors.
Sounds like flux capacitor, like from Back to the Future. I just think when you say capacitors, I think of the DeLorean. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is, I don't know how Sony makes a sensor so good, or how any of the lens or the camera manufacturers put the lens and the elements together. I don't care. That's not my job. My job is to take pictures. So when I know I'm standing here live in front of an audience of 40, 50 people, showing you guys that in a very well lit, this isn't dark, a very well lit camera store from 20 feet away, these things pop and flash. You also notice we're not even taking the time to take the barn doors and direct the light at her. We're not snooting it. We're not doing anything. This light is popping her and making her look amazing. I can put this on top of my camera and just go to town. I can have it off camera flash. I can do an entire shoot, put this light on a monopod, boom, 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 go to town. Now this is the Ellen Chrome trigger, and this fires it, and I can change the color balance remotely. I can change the power outputs. I can do anything I want remotely via the transmitter. If you already have a transmitter system, because I know photographers are going to ask that question, which is a valid question, you can take any existing high-speed sync camera system, transmitter system, and you can plug and play it. You put it right into the PC Sync port on the back of the Neo 2, and you're good to go. So if you have a Sony system, Nikon system, Canon system, as long as you have a transmitter and a receiver, and then what you do is with the Neo 2, there's the PC Sync port right here. You simply put a PC Sync cable that goes into here, goes into the receiver, and it fires it. The only thing you're losing with that is you're losing the ability to manipulate power ratios and the color remotely.
You can change color temperature remotely?
Yes, you can change color temperature with the Elinchrom trigger.
How much is the Elinchrom? Because they usually charge a lot for their stuff.
Yeah, it's like $250.
Oh, it's not too bad.
No, I thought it'd be more too. I thought it'd be like the $400 or $500 route.
And that's just the transmitter.
You just need the transmitter because the receiver is built inside. There's a plastic sleeve that goes on the front of this, right here, and then you can put, oh, it's right there, perfect. And then right here like this just locks in, and then you can put gels, you can put whatever you want. Okay? Makes it super easy to use. You can put diffusers on the front of this, 1 stop, 1.5 stop diffusers on the front of this to make it softer if you want. What I'm trying to stress to you guys out there, the whole reason that I went mirrorless, that's why I'm consistent. It's about how can I do my job faster, more efficiently than my competition. It takes talent. It takes a lot of hard work, but you have to understand how to crush your competition. The reason I don't mind sharing things with the photography world is because there's so much secrecy, there's so much lack of mentoring, there's so much of a feeling of, I can't help you, I don't want to help you, and that sounds funny coming from me just saying you got to crush your competition. You crush them with the velvet hammer, baby. That's what you do. You do. Because if you know here's the thing, if you know you're going places, do you mind if other people are going too? You don't. I've never ever worried about my competition. I've just worried about how do I get to the top? How do I get to the top? When I say don't worry, I mean you guys have no idea. I really do not sit there and watch other YouTube channels. Number one, straight up, I don't want to be influenced by them. I don't want to do a video that's ripping off somebody else's video. I really don't. It's like if I was a musician, I'd be very careful what I listen to because I don't want to make a song that sounds like somebody. So that's a big thing for me. People rip off my videos all the time. That's fine. They can do whatever they want, but they're chasing. Got to ask yourself, are you going to lead or are you going to chase? That's where I'm coming from. So any product that I look at, anything that I'm doing is about being a leader in the market. If someone says nobody else is doing that and you're doing that thing, that's a good thing. If you can find a way to put yourself ahead of the competition, guys, you're going to win. You go to a wedding, you shoot it with a light like this, you're walking around doing some amazing shots. Your wedding goes from 2,000 shots to 1,200. How does that impact your business? Does that mean there's more time for you to sit there and play video games? Or work with a bad mic? Does that mean that you sit there and play video games, guys? If you actually want to make it to the top? Or does that mean you invest the 800 less shots that you edited towards marketing and promoting your business? It's the latter. Y'all, if you're going to make it in the world of photography, you're going to have to push. My old assistant, Joyce, when I finally was named an artisan, she was with me for 4 or 5 years. I'll never forget her saying to me, man, you always are hustling, man. You never stop. She goes, you're the James Brown of photography. I'm like, you got to work, man. We're going to get done with the photo walk tonight. Guess what I'm going to be doing? I have a flight to Chicago tomorrow. Guess what I'm going to be doing tonight? I'm going to be editing this video. I'm not going to be drinking. I'm not going to be messing around. I'm not going to be watching Netflix. I'm going to be editing a video and putting it out because I want to be the top. That's what it boils down to, guys. And the products that I use are emblematic of that. I want to do things that are going to put me to the top, that are going to give me more consistent results, less failure. You guys ever taken a shot where the flash didn't fire? I love hearing about all these flashes that cost $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 that recycle so fast. That one costs $400. There's no recycle time. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yep.
The kit, what comes with the $400 kit?
The $400 kit is not the barn doors. And I know that they're running a special where if you buy it, it includes the light, the grip that you see, and it includes the filter kit. The filter kit. Now, one thing, if you guys have seen me play around with the Neo 1s, now granted, I'm insane, I got it. But, you know, I put them on the end of a monopod, I'll get into a swimming pool, I'll move it around. I'm my own portable lighting assistant. Way before I had helpers and assistants and all these wonderful people surrounding me, way before any of that, I figured out how to work it on my own. You put that light up just on a simple monopod, the wind starts blowing, you're going to be good to go. You put up any sort of a diffuser, even the small ones, you're talking about, that's a wind cell. Boom. Fall over, crash, burn. I'm trying to really communicate to you guys that you have to be smarter. If you learn how to light, you're going to kill your competition. Many photographers, we love to talk about our artistic and this and that and this and that. We don't focus on the business. And or we have guys who focus, or gals who focus on the business, who do not put any time into their craft. You have to do both. You have to do both. So we just have 5 minutes left. I want to make sure to answer questions for you guys. Whatever questions you have, please ask them. What can the Neo 2 not do? I'm always very clear. The Neo 2, you take it undiffused, or you take it diffused, or the Neo 2 at all, you take it out in midday sun, it's going to have very little impact. So if for whatever reason you choose to shoot in less than optimal lighting condition, that's not the light for you. For 85% of the rest of your applications, it works amazingly well. If you saw it work from 20 feet away in flash mode in a room that's well lit, can you imagine how beautiful and how great it would do for wedding receptions, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, birthday parties, quinceañeras, portrait sessions? And by the way, this can be twice the power output if you use the external battery, not the AA's. So if this isn't enough light for you, you use the external battery, it's twice this amount. Or you can also plug these into a wall. So if you are a portrait photographer, studio photographer, you can put these up in your studio. Just leave them plugged in, never have to even have batteries.
What's the largest group you recommend using Neo 2 for in terms of a group shot?
What's the largest group? Like how many people? It would depend on the lighting circumstances. I would say in a scenario like this, no more than 4 or 5. If you're looking for a bigger group, you'd have to get another light. I'll also tell you, when I've shot weddings and I've used a beauty dish or whatever else, the beauty dish, even on a 600 watt second monolight, will cover about 10 people. Like when I've had a lot of bridesmaids and groomsmen, it doesn't cover everyone. Now, if you shot it just undiffused, yeah, it's definitely strong enough to cover everybody, but the light is horrible. So by the time you make it good light, again, you've cut it down. So it's really, guys, what we'll leave you with is it's rethinking the way you light. We've been so accustomed to cutting light to make good light. Now we have good light out of the box. We don't have to cut it nearly as much. It's really changing the way you think about light. Kind of like DSLR to mirrorless. It changes the way at least changed the way I thought about shooting. What other questions, guys? Yep.
So if you put it on the hot shoe, you don't need the trigger?
If you put it on the hot shoe, you need to have a PC sync port out on your camera, and then you just use a PC sync cable, and it goes right into the back of the Neo 2, and it fires. I'll cover another subject real quick, which is TTL. TTL in my book stands for totally terrible light. So I don't know why we take, as pros, we take all this time to advocate and learn and shoot in manual mode with our camera, but then we just put our flash in auto. That's never made any sense to me. I heard it growing up in the industry. I had to shoot back button focus and I had to shoot TTL, and I hated both of them because I wanted to control my light. Yes, I know certain things out there, back button focus is meant for you. I get that. I'm not making fun of it, but for stuff that I do, it's not. But for TTL, I'll stand behind that. I think TTL is just, you just don't want a light.
So you're doing eye focus halfway with your
Well, no, right there I wasn't doing eye focus. That was just facial recognition. Do you shoot Sony?
yeah, of course I do.
Okay, well, good boy. No, the facial recognition, I only do eye autofocus if it's a super wide aperture, 1.4.
That's what I'm doing too.
Well, I was just shooting those at 2.8, but at one point, at 2.8, it's not going to be that much of a difference from the nose to the eye, but at 1.4, it'll be a big difference. I told it to the group yesterday, and if you guys have followed me for any length of time, when I started talking about the EOS, it sold out across the world. When I started talking, I think he was telling me to stop talking about stuff because it gets sold out. But the Neo 2 is the same, so my recommendation would be is if you guys are going to order them, if you think it works for you, get it so you get it before other people do. If it's a good fit for you, then get it before other people do. No, the Neo 1, the question is, will the Ellen Chrome trigger speak to the Neo 1s, and it won't. There's no receiver, there's no chip inside of the Neo 1 to do that.
What about the
EOS? The EOS does not have the receiver built inside.
Okay.
Why do you think the Neo 2 has a receiver built inside?
Portable.
Selling point.
Because I told them to do it.
Oh, we forgot to. That's what you asked for.
No, I just literally told them if you want to make this applicable to photographers, it's got to have it.
So what would you recommend for the purchase if you're going to buy multiples? How many would you get?
I would get 3 just because it's a 3-light kit. Not because they make a 3-light kit, but 3-point lighting to have a key fill and a rim light. That's what I would recommend. At a bare minimum, I'd have 2 because then you could at least do a key light, you could do a fill light with a reflector, and then you could do rim light. So that's the bare minimum what I would recommend.
How many units will it control?
How many units will, yeah, that's a great question. The Skyport transmitter will control up to 10 Neo 2s. You can control the different flash outputs, so if you do want to get creative with your lighting and put up a bunch of different lights and control them, you can do that. Speaking so much about the Neo 2 just because it's new, the EOS is only 4 months old, but the EOS is about 3 times the power of the Neo 2. So if you find that you have more power needs than the Neo 2 provides, then you would get the EOS. Oh, here it is. Thank you. And they made this one specifically for me too, because I told them the Innova Pro was too heavy and I didn't want to use it. I didn't want to use it for portable work. And so he said, what do you want? I said, put grips on the sides. So the Neo, this is the EOS. The EOS is an amazing light, and I've done a lot of videos with this guy. He's going blind in the front. This has, as you can see, this is very bright, and this also has a diffuser on the front of it. If you can't see, this is diffused light right here. Just like the Neo 2, it has a PC sync port on the back. So you guys can plug a receiver in there, and you guys will be good to go. But if you need more light, then you get the EOS. And then this is the battery that you can actually, there's a D-tap, and right here on the side, this is the power port. You put a cable that goes from here, and it fits right into the Neo. And this will give the Neo 500% brighter than LED mode. So if you want even more light, and this will last for days, just a ridiculous amount of time. So you can take the battery, if you get the EOS and you get the battery, if you don't want to use the EOS that day, take the battery out, use it for your Neo. You don't have to worry about AA batteries. So if you get one of the Neo bags, it has the clip, and then the cable would be there, and you just take it, and just like this, you just clip it onto anything. I think we stole that battery. I don't think that's ours. It doesn't matter. We could steal it, and I'd get away with it. Does the battery come with the EOS? No, you have to buy that battery. It's a V-mount battery. By the way, guys, I'll take more questions. You should join our university group. It's on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/Jason Lanier Workshops. I am by far the most active on that page. I answer questions. You guys say, hey, Jason, what's up? I'll answer questions. And if not, my moderators, other people who know the answers for me, will answer the question. It's a very active page. I live stream on there more than I do anywhere else. So if you guys are on Facebook, that's a great place to be. We have like 21,000 members now. It's a great place to be. Facebook.com/groups/Jason Lanier Workshops. And shameless plug, since we're past 4 o'clock, if you guys want to learn online, because everyone asks me about editing with me, I just did the session this morning where you guys watch me edit my pictures live. I mean, no secrets. You watch me edit everything from raw to finished. That's on patreon.com/Jason Lanier Photography. You watch everything. And I do photo critiques on there of your images. I edit your images. I edit my images. We do a lot of cool stuff. So
Website again?
that's Patreon. It's Patreon with an E, patreon.com/Jason Lanier Photography. If you are interested in these lights, they will sell out. That's not, it's just the truth. So thank you guys for coming. Until next time. Hey, sit down. I'm not done.
I'm getting the first in line.
Keep shooting. Never give up on your dreams. Find out gear that works for you. And remember, you only have one chance to get it right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.